Hey guys, welcome back to 1776 or Bust. So before we get started, again, some minor housekeeping. If you don't mind, give a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe, leave some comments down below, help the algorithms. Also, there's a Patreon associated with the channel. You can decide if you want to do that. Now, let's talk about what this video is about. It's more of a question video to all of you out there. So I obviously, in one of my last videos that I did of 2022, I explained that I was going to be looking at really starting to get involved in optics, trying to see if I can master this or at least become proficient. I am absolutely not proficient, not even close. That's why I'm not really carrying these types of firearms with me at this moment. However, I have 4 choices that I'm going to look at and show it to you, and then kind of just asking, what do you think would be the best choice to kind of start this project with? Obviously, each gun has a certain look to it, a certain feel to them, the triggers, all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, all 4 that you're going to see are striker-fired handguns. Some are bigger, some are smaller. Some have amazing triggers, some are okay, but at the end of the day, I'd just like to hear what you guys think. Which one should I really start really focusing the majority of my attention on? I have 4 carry versions of these guns in regards to having optics on them. There's one upstairs that has optic capability, which is my T-Shiz PX9. That gun's going to stay upstairs. It's not going to really go anywhere. I don't really have an extra optic to throw on there. Although it's a fantastic gun, I felt that these 4 would be a good way to really start entering this pattern of carrying guns with optics. So the first gun I'm going to show you is probably one of my all-time favorites, just a fantastic firearm. This is my MR920, and I'll kind of hold it a little bit back so you guys don't get blinded by it. But the MR920 from Shadow Systems is just a fantastic firearm, guys. One of my favorites, just one of, in my opinion, the best type of optic carry firearms that you can get, just because of the mounting system. Again, it mounts directly to the slide and it really sinks in there. So I do really enjoy this gun. This is a 507C on here, and it is a red dot, circle dot, or just circle. And I do like that pattern. For me, I'm probably going to, if I was going to choose this, start with a red circle as opposed to just the dot or the circle dot. I just like the way it looks. I feel like I can pick it up pretty well. But again, this is going to be really my first entry into this, really, I guess, investigating the optic world. And so my question is, would you start with the MR920 based on just how good the trigger is and just the way this actually sits on the slide? I mean, it is really just a great gun, and I absolutely love shooting it. When I was shooting this gun quite a bit, I did not have the optic on, and I just felt it was very accurate, very, very comfortable to shoot. So I'm kind of leaning towards this because this is kind of a dual firearm. The second choice that I have is going to be this one here. And this here, if I can get it up here to all of you, this is going to be my PDP F. So you can see it has a little bit of that slimmer grip. I absolutely love this gun too. I was not a huge fan of the PDP. However, with the PDP F, it kind of just, I don't know, it sits better in my hand. It feels a little bit better overall as a firearm. One of the things also is they did upgrade the way the optic plate fits on here. So this is kind of their Gen 2. The way this fits. So there's some little cuts in the slide here that supposedly support the plate and the optic a little bit better. Again, I'm not really sure if that's going to be the case. There is still a little bit of a gap between the optic and the plate, which is, I thought, is kind of interesting, but it is on here tight enough. So this one here is a 507C. This is the green X2. So again, this has the ability to have the green dot, the green circle dot, or the green circle. I do really like this PDP F. It just feels really good. The trigger is great. It has a lot of lock accessories on here, including the magwell, also the back strap, and it does have the weighted magazines with the brass weight at the bottom. So I'm pretty anxious to see, again, how this is going to really shoot with the optic attached to it. I think it's going to be a really good gun regardless. It already is. But I think with the optic, I could see it being improved upon, just the overall experience. But that's going to be entry number 2. So right now I have the MR920 as a possibility and this beauty, which is the PDP F. So now moving on, these are kind of the slimmer, smaller versions, and you've seen these multiple times. This is the P365 with the Icarus Precision Lower. Again, this also has the comp on there. And this comes with the Romeo 1, which, again, I'll be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of this optic. It's plastic. It doesn't seem to be very reliable, you know, to be honest with you. I've noticed, and I've shot this before with this optic, but I noticed that it has a tough time keeping zero, whatever that means for me, since I'm not that great at these anyway. But I've noticed that the dot has a tendency to drift. Not sure if I'm going to go with this, to be honest with you. And then last but not least is the 365 macro, which is, as you guys can see right here. This has the 507K, and this one is the red. I couldn't find a green one at a good price, so I wound up getting the red. I like the way this is set up. This is a great setup. And honestly, this would be a supreme carry, depending if I decide to carry this gun. But I mean, overall, this gun is pretty damn sweet, guys. So those are my 4 entries. I think the where I'm really leaning to begin is probably going to be the MR920 or the PDP-F because they are larger guns, thicker guns. And then ultimately, as I get more proficient, maybe going down to some of the smaller guns. But that's where you guys come in. I'd like to know what you think. Which one should I start with? Or should I start with all 4 of them and just say, screw it, let me go to the range and shoot them all up and see how I do on each model. But I want to hear your expertise and your opinions on that. Again, this is all new to me with the optics, but I'd be interested to know what you guys think. So leave those comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be taking these out to the range tomorrow, at least I hope so. And probably going to bring some non-optic guns because I can't help myself. There's a couple of guns I haven't shot yet. For example, this one right here, which is my P30. This is the LEM trigger. Awesome setup, guys. I'd highly recommend it. And then also the P30 SK I did shoot, but I definitely want to shoot this again. Didn't have the greatest range today with it, but I'd like to be able to improve my shooting capability with both those firearms because the P30 platform is fantastic. And eventually I'll review those and tell you what I think. But as always, guys, leave those comments down below. I appreciate you watching. And again, leave the comments. Let me know what you think. Which one should I start off with, or should I start all 4? So as always, I hope you have a great night. Stay safe, and freedom is never free.